Hi everyone, as you can tell right now I have absolutely no foundation on, and that is because I'm going to be doing a foundation routine for all of you. This is my full coverage foundation routine. Right now I currently don't have any acne, but when I do have acne, and it can get pretty bad sometimes, it definitely covers it all up, so I figured I would show you how I do up my foundation, and then when I do like tutorials and stuff, I'll just link this foundation routine in the down bar, and you will only see the eye tutorials, so in that way, if you just want to see the eyes, that's all you have to see, and if you want to see the face too, you can just watch this video back. And yeah, I zoomed in a little bit more than usual so you could see my face a little bit better. And first I'm actually just going to tie my hair back because this is what I always do when I'm doing my foundation. And if you're wondering why I'm looking over here, it's because that's where my mirror is. The primer I'm going to be using today is the Benefit That Gal, which is actually my second favorite primer. My real favorite primer is the Chanel Blanc de Chanel, but I'm going nowhere after filming this, so I don't really want to waste this because it's a very expensive product, but it is absolutely amazing. And I'm sure in a tutorial or something I will feature this because I'll probably be going out after I film the tutorial, but I just didn't really want to waste it today. But I adore this primer as well if you're looking for a cheaper alternative to the Blanc de Chanel. So I'm going to be using this first. I love this because it adds a little bit extra glow to your foundation, especially the Nars Sheer Glow. And I think I put way too much on my fingers. Now, if you guys have been watching my past videos, this should come as no surprise. I'm going to be using the Nars Sheer Glow Foundation. I'm in the shade Medium 1 Punjab. This is my holy grail foundation. I love, 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 love this. It provides such like a natural finish, but has such high coverage. And it's not like a overly glowy foundation. It's just in the right spots. And I adore this. If you have very oily skin, I wouldn't recommend it. I have combo skin, if you guys were wondering, by the way. So I'm just going to shake it up. I don't have the pump on mine, which can be kind of annoying, and I just dot it all over my skin. It might look like I use a lot, but I'm just pumping really thin amounts all over my face. And this foundation does not look cakey, like, at all. And the brush I'm going to be using to apply it is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. I'm going to kind of like sloppily just place it all over my cheek to make sure it's all in place. And then what I do is I just blend, blend, blend. And I'm gonna do probably one side and then I'll speed up the video. And I always make sure, sometimes I realize people don't bring their foundation all the way up to their lip because they're just like blending all around, but really make sure you get it all around your lips. And then, okay, might be one of the weird things that I do, but I blend in my forehead with my fingers. I refuse to use a brush for any foundation. I use with my fingers. Don't ask me why. Oh, and I already have my eyes done, obviously. Okay, so this is the first layer. It actually can be really light coverage if you want it to be, but then what I do is I go ahead and I put more on spots that I like more coverage. I like this foundation to look super flawless. So I'm just going to apply more. I basically always apply it to the spots like on top of my cheeks here because I feel like that should be really perfected. And then whenever I have acne or anything, I always just pop a little bit more foundation as a concealer. It's going to blend in a lot better than using a concealer alone because it's like the same shade, same formula, and it's just going to have like the same exact finish. Now, if that doesn't cover it, then that's what I would go in with the actual concealer. Now, the worst part about my skin is my under eye circles. They are just very big and very purple. So, I use a MAC Pro Longwear Concealer. Mine is in the shade NC25. This is actually a little bit darker. I'm normally NC20, but they were actually out when I went to the counter, but I needed concealer, so I just bought NC25. And they had NC15, NC25, and the MAC counter lady told me, she's like, okay, what one would you like? And I'm like, well, I'll probably use it underneath my eyes as well. And she was like, so I'm like, so probably the lighter one. And she was like, no, you should get a warmer tone one because if you use too light of a concealer right in this inner part, it can look gray cast. So if you want to use a lighter concealer, just use it on the outer parts of your eyes. So I thought that was a really interesting tip. Now, some people are going to think I use way too much concealer, but I personally don't because this concealer does not look cakey or anything. I use that much concealer. Whoops. It does not look cakey when I put underneath my eyes, and it It has amazing, amazing coverage, and it stays on so, so well. So I just kind of first like roughly blend it in with my fingers. And then I go ahead and I take the foundation brush again, or sometimes I'll use the buffing brush by Real Techniques instead. And I just kind of tap it into place. If you tap your concealer rather than rub it, it's going to make it sit on the skin rather than rub it in and like make it go away. Always just pop a little bit more on this inner part because that's where I need the most coverage. And you can blend with your fingers as well. So that's basically the concealer for you. Now I'm going to be using my favorite powder of all time, the Rimmel Stay Matte in the shade Translucent with a Real Techniques powder brush. And I'm going to push this all over my skin. And people are probably like, why are you using a mattifying powder when you're using a glowy foundation? I really just use it in my T-zone just so that the T-zone does not look shiny because I don't really like that look. I only really like the cheeks to look nice and glowy. And then I'm going to do my contouring. I use the Benefit Hoola Bronzer. This is probably the easiest way to contour, and it's all because of this tool. The Real Techniques Blush Brush. Oh, and by the way, guys, my brushes today are so dirty. They really need a cleansing. But it's kind of like pointed at the end. And so I like it better than something like the Real Techniques Contour Brush because this is a little bit like very dense and it's very, very precise. So if you like that, this is a great brush. But since this is so like big, it blends it out as you contour. So I'm going to be using the Hoola Bronzer, which is my favorite bronzer. And I just go in right at the hollows of your cheekbones. And this just really like, it gives you the contour, but then these like extra outer bristles here blend it all in. And then I love contouring my jawline. So I'm just going to go here as well. And then also on my temple. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. You can definitely see the shine on this foundation. I really, really love it. And then my favorite types of blushes are actually, I hate pink tone blushes on me besides the Topshop Cream Blush and Flush. That's the only one I like pink. But I really, really, really love peachy tones. This is a peachy pink, so it's not like pure peach, which is more like summery. And I just adore this blush. I basically wear this on an every single day basis. It's Rosy Outlook by MAC. And I'm going to use the same brush I use for my bronzer, the Real Techniques Blush Brush. And I'm just going to pop it on. I tend to like brush downwards with my blush so that it blends in with the contour. I use my foundation brush again just around the edges to make sure that there's no harsh lines. And then I'm going to use my favorite highlight of all time, MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in Soft and Gentle. And I use it on a Real Techniques contour brush. And this is just such a gorgeous highlighter. It's nice and gold, and I adore it. It's actually a dupe for the Dior Amber Diamond. So yeah, that was my full coverage foundation routine for you all. I hope you all liked this and will try out these products yourself. Leave in the comments below your favorite foundation and face products so I could try them out, and I will see you all real soon. Bye!